It's a real pleasure to be here. It's a real pleasure for Save the Children to work in Kenya. We have been working here for many years, and we are right now working in 5 counties here in Kenya. I visited the response droughts in programs in Turkana, in the northern part of the country. And what we are seeing right now, and the reason why we're here today, is to shed a light on the fact that in Kenya right now, as across the Horn of Africa, we are seeing a serious hunger crisis. As you know, many parts of Kenya are experiencing drought this year, and everyone knows that there is a drought. But in the north of the country, the drought is particularly severe, and it actually threatens the lives and the livelihoods of millions of people.
Whilst the whole country is affected, there are some counties that are experiencing extremely severe conditions, and we are particularly concerned about very high rates of malnutrition that are being recorded in counties like Turkana, Marsabit and Mandera. These are the government's own figures, and we know that in some of those counties there are areas where more than 30% of children under the age of 5 are malnourished. That is double the emergency threshold. That is one of the 3 indicators of an impending famine in those areas.
The situation in Somalia is not very different, and Kenya and Somalia being neighboring countries, you can imagine that how it would be. It's just that the scale is much bigger at the moment in Somalia. So there are places in Somalia where for the past 2 years it hasn't rained, and that has led to a massive crisis in major parts of the Somalia.
When you look into the eyes of a mother who loves her children like we all do, and you can see the pain and the suffering in those, her hopes for the future, I think it unites us all in a sort of common sense of humanity, and we should all double our efforts, I think. The numbers are large, and we do need more funds to reach even more people than we're currently reaching. But we need to keep the numbers in proportion. One I like to quote is that the world spends 3 times more on ice cream than it does on its entire humanitarian response.
It's important that we really grasp what we're facing here. There's never been as many hungry people, children and families in this region in modern history. So in 2017, with all this modernity and luxury we see around us in Nairobi, there are more people going hungry in this region than ever in history.
We are not here today to pass blame or to blame anyone. That's not why we're here. We're here to make sure that action is being taken. And that action has to come, of course, from the Kenyan government, who is responsible for the people of Kenya. It has to come from the county. It has to come from the international community. And David is right in saying that it is not to be expected that this country, even though it is a middle-income country, can deal with all of this on their own. So we understand that. And it also has to come from NGOs that are stepping up their efforts, NGOs like Save the Children. So we are also committing ourselves to stepping up if we can get the funding to do that. So that's also our commitment. But I want to, what we are here today is to urge everyone to act now, because if we don't get the help to these children, they will not only be hungry, but if they don't get the help they need and get it very fast, they will not survive. And this is the message we want to make very clear that we have. We're not here to blame anyone. We're here to ask everyone to get their hands on deck and help, and do it very, very urgently.